Hello, world. Today we have a very, very special instance of trading battle. Today we're going to introduce crypto battle number one. We're going to trade all crypto all the time into the Asia session, which is the most active session for crypto. And we have two absolutely amazing traders to take you through the next hour trading crypto all around. We're going to have Nick Bencino versus Sir Lewis today. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Nick. Welcome, Lewis. How's everybody doing? We are opening up Asia session trading crypto with pretty active, good activity in both Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, DOT, and everybody is moving around. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lewis. How are you? Good to see
Hey,
you.
how are you guys?
Great.
Hey,
Um, and Nick, good to see you as well. Nick Bencino, of
hello,
course, is an
everyone.
old hand from Trading Battle. He's been with us a few times. He runs Luna Crypto and Forex for Noobs, and he knows his way around a crypto table pretty well. If there's anything in crypto that moves, he has traded it in his past. And Lewis is a new crypto trader.
Yes.
It really comes to it, I guess, over since the last year. He's just kind of discovered the asset, has been very active in trading it, and we'd love to have him. Both traders are trading for charity today. So we're going to go off to the races and start our show. The first challenge of the day today is to trade Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's dealer's choice, gentlemen. Take your pick. Tell me what you want to do, long or short. How are you feeling about the market as Asia trade opens up for dealing right now? Bit is actually trading. No, ETH is pretty much trading. Actually, both of them trading near the session lows. Excuse me, session highs. As there seems to be a lot of demand in crypto after a pretty volatile day in the markets all across the world. So we'll start with Lewis. Actually, Lewis, what do you think? Um, Bitcoin or Ethereum? What's your poison today?
So I think at the current moment, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Um,
Hmm.
and so when you look at Bitcoin dominance, it's pretty low at the moment. And I think looking back in the beginning of each month from the past 3 months or so, Bitcoin's been very bullish in the beginning of each month. So I think I would rather trade Bitcoin at the current moment.
Wow, interesting. Okay, out of consensus view. So as we start the day, Ethereum is up percent 107 basis points. Bitcoin is only up 39 basis points. So three times further upward movement for Ethereum than it is for Bitcoin. Yet Lewis is choosing to go long Bitcoin right now at current prices around 57,340. Let's see what Nick wants to do. Nick, what do you think of
Uh,
the two choices?
yeah, I cheated a little. I've already gone in long on Ethereum. I've already added to the position
Okay,
when it dipped back down. I'm just seeing
great,
Ethereum going up from here. Obviously, there's a lot of buying happening.
right,
We've seen it start climbing. It got up to the 47. Obviously, reacted to that because it's a nice round number for 4,700 in crypto.
right.
Always tends to react at those big round numbers. So I was expecting a dip back down there, and it dipped back down. I added to the position at a better
Ah,
price than my first order, uh,
great.
and I'll
So
just
we,
keep
we've
adding
talked
into the
about that in the
position until
past.
it gets up.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about it in the past about how crypto is very, very sensitive to round numbers, and it's sort of a one of those interesting setups that you practice quite a lot. Both a run to the round number, and then of course a break through the round number. If that happens, if ETH takes out the 47, holds it, then that should be relatively bullish for us for a further run to the upside. And it looks like it's moving your way. It's
Yeah,
galloping your way actually right into the round number. You could just see the I
little
think the
broke it.
excitement in Asia building up. ETH has been outperforming all day long today, and
Yeah.
it just feels like Asia traders want to pretty much challenge the North American highs and really run it hard. I'm actually curious. Do you guys trade the Asia session a lot? Is this something you so for Nick, obviously he's in UK. That's a very very late look. Lewis, you're in the States, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to trade the Asia section compared to the UK.
Well, I would think it'd be easier because are you on the east coast of the U.S.? It's only 7 o'clock at night here. In the UK, it's really late.
On the
It's like
East
11
Coast.
o'clock at night. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Is this something you actually look at actively? Do you ever look at Asia session trade in crypto?
Me,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, no, not really. I don't like staying up at this time of night to trade. Yeah, it is a very active session. Honestly, the session gives me nightmares because I go to bed, I wake up, and then Asia traders have like completely destroyed everything I worked on the day before. So I'm
Sure.
not a fan of the Asia session. I wish I could trade it, but I just
Right.
can't justify staying up like till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning to take these trades.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
no.
hear you. I hear you. What about you, Lewis? Do you ever look at the Asia session?
Yeah, with having a day job, it's kind of difficult, trying to stay up
Right.
early in the morning. But I do sometimes actually do stay,
Mm.
wake up and check the charts um,
Right.
during this time to see how the market's going. I
Yeah.
think it's
Well,
important.
I find Asia session to be actually one of the most exciting sessions in crypto because clearly there's such global interest in crypto, but the focus, I think, still like the epicenter of crypto is very much Asia. I mean, it started in Asia in many ways as an asset, and there's just so much activity within that region, so that it really moves. There's a lot of liquidity. It really moves, and I think it just like U.S. has a natural up bias for equities. So U.S. session always tends to buy equities because U.S. investors are naturally bullish. I kind of think a lot of times Asia session, barring unless there's some terrible news, is very bullish crypto. And like whatever, if North America brings it down, they love to buy the dip and bring it back up. They're always super,
Wow.
super bullish. So to me, I find that interesting. So both you guys are long. Nobody taking shorts today on crypto. Both of the longs are actually working. Bid is working towards session highs. ETH is through 4,700, holding the 4,700, so that's really good. We've got nice flow for both traders. Let's find out a little bit about your background for anybody who doesn't know. Let's start with Nick. Nick I said, is an old hand, but maybe you can tell people a little bit about how you got interested in crypto, how long you've been trading it. What do you find most interesting about this? Nick has made more fortunes than many of us can count in crypto at this point. But I think he still finds the market very interesting and engaging. So tell us a little bit about just sort of your background, Nick.
Yeah, I've been a forex trader for I don't even know how long anymore. I say 15 years, but I think we're going to
Right.
20 years at
It's a
this point.
blur. Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've been forex trading for quite some time. Recently, I switched to cryptos over the last few years, just because it's a much more exciting market. And I've talked about it before on these things. It's just a much more predictable market, which is what I love. When you look at a crypto chart, you can pretty much predict where things are going to bounce. Like uh, if you can see my chart here, the very first bounce we got from the 4,700
Right.
was quite predictable. If I was like 1 minute trading, I might have taken a short there, but I don't really do 1 minute trading just
What?
because
What? Sorry.
unfortunately
What is
ads.
it? Is it a 1 minute chart we're looking at right now?
No, this is a 5 minute chart.
It's a 5 minute chart. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
5 minute
So
chart.
if I was
Yeah.
trading 1 minute, I'd probably trade reactions from those kind of like 4,700, just those
Yeah.
psychological levels.
Right. No,
But
you leave that to me. You leave that to me.
yeah,
But
yeah,
no, but it's a beautiful execution, by the way. Like sort of your as you say, crypto is very, very technically responsive, and like we
yes,
talked about this many times before, where the tricks that used to work in forex, which don't work in forex anymore, um, uh, really work very well in crypto. So the round number trade, which is basically what Nick is doing right now, has been executed, expertly. He bought the pullback, as you can see the bounce. The trade now is holding through the round number, and very likely maybe we're going to extend a little bit further. As I said, it seems to be a pretty bullish sentiment. We certainly build up a nice big range here. So all signs point to further breakout, which would be technically classical here for
yep,
Ethereum. So his trade is working pretty well. Now, Lewis, you're relatively new
Yeah.
to crypto.
Yes.
You just kind of like how when did you first start trading it? Like how long has it been?
Yeah. So it's actually been just around 8 months that I actually started a transition my YouTube channel to crypto, and I recently
Right.
started trading crypto in less than 4 months or so. So it feels
Wow.
like 3 years, but it's really
Yes.
short actually. With so much things going on this year, I think it was a huge year for
Right.
crypto.
Now, when you first
And
started, what did you first trade?
so when I first started, I got into stocks, the stock market, and then eventually I got into crypto.
Right, but when you first started crypto, what did you just gravitate towards Bitcoin, the usual stuff, and have you expanded your repertoire now to more coins than just Bitcoin and Ethereum?
So to be honest, when I first started, I actually started with Dogecoin. I think it was my
Yeah,
first
of
one that I
course, of
traded.
course, of course.
So it was sort of like a
The
gateway.
classic rookie trade. Right.
Yeah, so I was just amazed at how Dogecoin can rise so much, and then it led me to research other cryptos since I was so new
Hmm.
to it. I wanted to learn about other cryptos that had
Right.
more utility and like Bitcoin. So really, that's how I started.
I see. I see. Wonderful. So, what do you trade now? Like, is your primary trading focus Bitcoin, Ethereum? Do you trade anything else? Solana, Dot? Do you any other coins?
Yeah, I like to research a lot of really undervalued cryptos that I think one day will have a lot of utility, like Solana
Mhm.
and Ethereum and Bitcoin. Definitely, I think is very important to have in the portfolio.
Okay, sounds good. Well, that actually brings us to challenge number two, which I want to talk about, which is basically let's moving off the majors, the two primary trades in the crypto, which is Ethereum and Bitcoin, which are really now, like I would say, well established assets. I mean, they are trading. They're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, liquid all the time. Bitcoin is $1 trillion valuation. So, I mean, these are almost as liquid and as respectable as Apple stock or Google stock at this point. Two more speculative, more interesting ideas down the chain. And your job now is to tell me what in the altcoin space, and this is just any coin besides the two majors, do you like right now into the Asia session? I'll start with Nick. I'm going to put Nick on the spot since he's a weathered veteran, and I'll give Lewis a little bit of breathing space to go looking around. Nick looks very, very intensely focused here on scanning. What's looking good to you on the altcoin side that's available from
How,
our broker
how
ACAP?
long is this trade going to be held for?
It's up to you. We can hold it. We can hold it through the next 48 hours, or because I think basically our holding period here is about 48 hours forward. So we give you plenty of room if you want to do something on a longer term basis, or if you want to scalp it out to the end of the session, that's fine too. Um, whatever
I'm going to
whatever
take
you
this one
think.
on more of a kind of like a longer term basis over the next
Okay.
day or two. I'm going to go
5 days
long
later.
mana.
So you got really, you almost have five. You have really 5 days to hold the trade. So if you want to plan something
Oh,
on a longer
yeah.
term basis,
Oh, definitely then mana. Yeah, so decentralized mana. Gaming is just like the biggest thing in crypto right now. Metaverse and gaming. Ever since Mark Wahlberg announced that he's changing the company name to Meta,
hmm,
just the metaverse exploded. We got really lucky with that one. Me and my primary trading partner, who just like blew up on Twitter recently and has become like one of the top influencers in the space, which is crazy. Uh, uh, yeah, so she
focusing
was,
on gaming.
yeah, she really pushed me to focus on gaming.
Okay.
I was a little bit hesitant to do it, but she really pushed me to focus on gaming, and we jumped onto this kind of metaverse train. Like, uh, well, she jumped on like a long, long time before me, but I jumped on right before Facebook announced that Meta release, that
Right.
Meta
Right.
name change, right? And
Right.
like from there, everything just shot up 300, 500%. So
Yes.
that was pretty crazy. So that would have been, back. Uh, this chart doesn't extend back far
Yeah.
enough.
It's really. But there it is.
Engine will show it. So yeah, around about here where it started, like all the metaverse tokens, all the gaming tokens in general started going
Right.
absolutely crazy. around
So
here. So I think that these are going to continue to move up. We're all very, very bullish on these gaming tokens. They've had a bit of a pullback. If you look at the Metaverse Index, which is a basket of Metaverse tokens, it includes Mana and Axie, I believe, and Engine. Uh,
okay.
it has had a bit of a
Is
pullback.
this the basket we're looking at right now?
No, this isn't the basket. I don't think ACAP has the basket,
I
so
see.
I don't have it up on
So,
my screen.
so what symbol are we looking at right now? Because it's hard for me to see a little bit.
Sorry, that's Decentraland Mana. But
Okay.
I believe I have the basket here somewhere. If I don't, I'll just bring it up real quick. Just to show you what it looks like.
Okay.
So we can see a bit of a pullback on this is
Right.
the MVI, the Metaverse Index. We can
Right.
see it's had a bit of a pullback, but it's forming along this support area here. There's
Right.
a support area that I
Right.
marked there. So I do think that this is just a classic just pullback before
Oh,
a
this
continuation of
this is a classic Nick Bencino trade. It's coming right into support. You
yeah,
love to make bid right at support here, right?
exactly. So I'm not going to do
So
it on MVI, but I'm going to do it on
okay,
Mana, which is part of the
okay,
basket of
okay,
MVI. So I'll go back to that. Sorry
sure,
for the long intro there, but yeah, we're buying here, which I haven't bought
right,
yet, which I should have done, but
right,
I'm about to. I
okay.
do love that I can control my own trades now.
Ah,
Uh,
there we go. Wonderful. And this is going to be you're going to just hold this for the next 5 days because you think we're going to get fresh flows into into all the gaming stocks because gaming cryptos obviously because as you said, this seems to be a breakout application in crypto. Um,
yeah, there's a lot of wow, I can't remember the name. You have to excuse me. It's so late over here. My mind isn't what it should
right.
be. I should have been asleep like 3 hours ago. But
You've
this
been a good
company,
trooper.
oh bloody hell, what are they called? Anyway, they invest into crypto. It's a huge company with worth billions. They're looking to get into meta. Basically,
Is
what
it
I'm trying to say
EA?
here.
EA?
No, it's not a gaming
No.
company. It's an
Oh,
investment company. Uh, yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, I believe that metaverse and just gaming cryptos in general, play to earn
Mhm.
games, might be truly decoupling from Bitcoin, which is going to be the first instance of something that we see truly decoupling. There has been like DeFi decouple from Bitcoin briefly, but it looks like that this is the real deal, and that if Bitcoin crashes from here, metaverse can survive on its own and play to earn games can survive on
Hmm,
its own. Now, like if it
interesting.
completely nukes, like if we lose like 50% on Bitcoin, it's not as if metaverse tokens are going to survive that without a scratch. But if we get like a 10-20% dip, we've already seen it. Metaverse tokens just keep pushing up despite
Right.
Bitcoin crashing. Actually, I could show you
Well, I think
if I can
I
hit
think
talk, I'll show you something super interesting.
I think the real interest here is that this is the first time we've seen not just speculative engagement into the coin itself. In other words, people buying the coin because everybody else is buying the coin, but engagement in the underlying business activity, which
Yeah,
is gaming, and that's what I think is kind of interesting about your thesis. The whole marriage of gaming and crypto, which allows you to participate in a variety of games with genuine personal ownership. That's the critical asset. It's the ability
yeah,
to kind of participate in games where you have a personal stake in the game. It's not just for fun; it's for profit. Axie was
yeah.
the proof of concept of that in a massive way. But I think you and I talked about the idea that there's not going to be poker on crypto. I'm sure there'll be blackjack, and there'll be traditional
Betting.
gambling games, but there'll
Yeah.
also be games of skill and games of strategy. And as we all know, gaming. I'm way too old since gaming has all passed me by. But gaming is as an entertainment activity is a much bigger activity than all the other entertainment activities combined. So the box office for
Yeah.
even something as old as Grand Theft Auto is greater than the whole box office for Hollywood. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I think that that thesis is kind of really interesting. What do you think about that, Lewis?
Yeah, I think during this year, like I said, it's been a huge year for crypto, and you've seen many sectors this year just pop off, like NFTs. I think it started with NFTs, then metaverse, then gaming, play
Right.
to earn. So,
Right.
and I think, like you said, the gaming sector in crypto is going to be something huge. And it's something that, huge gaming businesses haven't even gotten into yet, like Activision or EA Sports. So I
Right.
think we're just really in the beginning of it. Is something to be really, really
That's actually
huge in
going to
the
be that's
future.
going to be an interesting conversation to have, down the road when we have more cryptos. Is will the
Yeah.
old guard, the old gaming companies actually
They
be
are.
able, be able to make a stake and participate in the new world, or will, like, the companies like Axie and everybody else just grow so fast organically they're not going to need these guys and maybe even take those guys out?
Ubisoft's already getting in.
Sorry,
Ubisoft. I believe it's Ubisoft or Electronic
Ubisoft.
Arts. I
Yeah,
can't remember, but I think
right.
Ubisoft's already getting in. They're already doing play to earn games. Pretty sure it was
Yeah,
Wow.
Ubisoft. So they're starting. EA. I think it's Ubisoft. So EA is no doubt going to be next, and then you're just going to have like
Yeah.
all the other ones pile on. So they're already starting, and I
right.
think they have like the huge teams of developers. They could put together like some pretty big games, and they have games in development that they could just plug crypto into without problem, because most of the games they have in development have some sort of aspect of coins or something that you're buying in the game. That's just how games are built these days.
Right.
So plugging crypto in is a totally plausible, and if not crypto, just NFTs, sticking them into the
Hmm.
games. Yeah, the thing I wanted to show you, Boris,
Well,
just real quickly was so this is the metaverse index overlaid
mhm.
on the Bitcoin chart, just turned into a line chart just to eliminate the
So
annoyance of
red is
cameras.
Bitcoin, blue is the
Yeah,
metaverse index. Okay.
Wow.
yeah, and you can see where it really decoupled here,
Hmm.
where metaverse just went boom and Bitcoin started dipping.
Very interesting.
So this hasn't been like a long time. It was on the 12th of November that it really decoupled. So me and the team I trade with, we're not convinced that this is the real deal yet, but we're becoming more and more convinced that it might be the real deal. That gaming tokens might not
Yeah,
be not following the
I really
rules of
like
Bitcoin.
I like your thesis. So your trade is Mena. Now
Yep.
let's ask Lewis. Lewis, what do you think? This is your chance now. Altcoins. What's your trade? Whether it be short term or whether you want to hold this for the next 5 days. What looks good to you as a
So
trade?
so I think looking your long term, as we've seen,
Hmm.
crypto's been very bullish in the beginning of the last few months. I think as you guys can see
Right.
right here, I think this was
Right.
beginning of November and here September especially.
Hmm.
So I'm liking the way that Litecoin's looking right here. It's just making
Okay.
newer highs and higher lows.
Right. Interesting.
And I do think that this in the long term as a swing play is definitely going to perform very well. A lot of people uh, think Litecoin is going to perform very well this cycle. So it already reached around $300. So I think it's going to be a recovery right here
So
along with Bitcoin.
Litecoin is known to be incredibly volatile. In other words, when it takes off, it's verticalized, and then it just kind of crashes the same way, right? And it sounds
Yeah,
like you're setting yourself up for a potential breakout to the upside.
yeah, yeah. I like the way that the chart is looking for it.
Understood. Now, I know you and I have talked a little bit off camera about the fact you like trade divergence, and you have a very interesting
Yeah.
indicator there on the bottom there. Maybe you could just tell us a
Hmm.
little bit about that indicator that says the green buy,
This one right here.
um, yeah, mark that had on it. So yeah, maybe you could run us through and tell us a little bit about what that's all about.
Yeah, so this is the divergence indicator. It's called divergence indicator, and it's really beginner friendly because it actually tells you, it gives you here when you should be a bear or a bull.
Hmm.
So it helps you if you're a beginner and you're learning divergence. But so if you go back here, when Bitcoin made its high, you can look right here. You can see
Right,
that Bitcoin made a new high around here, and then it made a higher
right,
high in the 69 range, right? But here, if you look at
right,
the divergence indicator, it's it's going down, right? It's making
right,
a lower low. So
right,
that signifies that most likely the price is going to drop in the near
Right.
future, and even here
Right.
to 69, it made it another lower low. So that just signifies that it's most likely going to drop, and it actually did. So having this, it really helps out to see the divergency in the charts.
Right. Right. Interesting. So what's Litecoin showing you? Since that's the trade you're looking at now.
Yeah. So yeah, Litecoin, looking at the 1 hour here is just
Right.
making a higher high, lower low,
Right. And it looks like that
and
divergence indicator was showing you a here it's showing you a couple of
yeah,
bearish signals, right?
yeah, over here in the 1 hour, it's showing
So
a bull right here.
so sorry. So what with this bullish signal? What chart is that? Is that a daily chart we're looking at? No, it's a 1 hour.
Yeah, the 1 hour
Okay. Okay. So it looks bullish on the 1 hour chart, and looks ready to
here.
maybe go higher. So interesting. So Lewis is kind of staying with the old guard, Litecoin, which has been around forever, and is a very, very volatile trade. Is there any kind of fundamental story, news story behind Litecoin, or is it just simply a purely technical setup for you at this point?
So I think Litecoin is one of the OGs like Bitcoin, and if I were to place a bet, what coins will be here in the next 100 year or so, I definitely would think Bitcoin and Litecoin.
Hmm.
Just because since it's been here in the beginning and it just stood the test of time. But
Right.
this play is definitely a technical play.
Okay.
People call it boomer coin too.
Yeah.
Litecoin, boomer coin, or dinosaur coin. But boomer coin is my favorite. Because like
Puma?
it's the coin all the boomer, like
Oh,
boomers.
Boom.
a boomer
Yeah,
coin. Oh, it's a boomer coin. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know, you got to translate your British English to my American English. So, yeah,
Sorry.
boomer coin. Got it.
Boomer.
That's
I
a
can't
point
do
for
it.
me. I should
Yeah,
I should
yeah.
have a little pennant.
It's your
I should
coin,
have a little
Boris.
pennant saying boomer coin.
Yeah.
But I thought Bitcoin was the boomer coin. I mean, that's I should do
No,
I should
because
do a
Bitcoin's
little.
more like
Both.
digital gold.
Yeah.
Like
No, I
everyone can
actually
get
agree with
Bitcoin.
you. 100%. So like this is a really interesting conversation as well. So this is why I'm actually very personally bullish on Bitcoin, because it's just common sense that if you want to if you want to just simply a store of value that's portable, it's not even a comparison. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's not even a horse versus a car. It's a horse versus a hypersonic jet in relative advantages of Bitcoin to gold. You're not going to carry $1 billion of gold anywhere, but you can carry $1 billion of Bitcoin in side pocket on a drive, and go anywhere in the
Yeah.
world, plug it in, and start your life all over again. Which is why I think a crypto is such a um, strong asset of choice in Asia. I mean, or anywhere in the world where property rights are always in question, right? And that's like 80% of the world. We live in a very, very gated, idealistic society where property rights are actually protected, and the state is relatively well controlled. But most people live essentially in a lawless society all across the world. And ironically enough,
Yeah.
Bitcoin is the one thing that provides them a much greater degree of law than anything else. So as we stand,
Yeah.
people are asking me who is winning. It looks like it's looking to me like if you were just looking at ETH, Nick is definitely ahead on ETH alone. Litecoin is. I got to see where Litecoin is trading, and I don't have the maybe my producer can give me an update on what they're doing on the two positions, because you had a, what was it called, Metacoin? Oh, here it is. We have the update. I'm sorry, I'm not even looking at it. Okay, so we have Nick has got ETH. He's up strong on those positions. Mana is basically break even. Litecoin is break even. Lewis's Bitcoin, we're going to have to enter retroactively. Just that there was a technical glitch, but we're going to honor his trade. I think he was pretty much in around these levels, frankly, because we're talking about this at around 50. I remember it was 50, 57, 300. So he's pretty much break
Yeah.
even. So at this point, Nick is ahead on the strength of Ethereum, which is fine. Um, and it looks like you guys are going to both hold Litecoin and Mana well into the close. So we're going to know 5 days from now how well those two perform. I love the whole gaming thesis. I think it's really interesting. And I like the technical setup that Lewis has shown us with Litecoin. I think both of those are very, very interesting trades. So we're going to put Lewis in. We're going to make sure that he gets his positions in. And
Thank you.
now let's kind of talk a little bit about longer term swing challenges. I mean, I know that both Light and Mana were kind of longer term swing challenges, but even if we look at just the basics, the standard top 5, top 10 of the coins, what's looking good for you over the next 3 to 5 days on a swing basis, either from a technical perspective, if you want to look at the structure. I mean, Lewis, we can start with you. You want to take a look at structure and tell me what structurally looks decent to you, as far as the coins go. And you could go back into Bit and ETH on a long term basis as well. But I'm kind of interested, maybe even in Solana and DOT, and what you think of those. We talked a little bit earlier in the show about what was the big stable coin that we talked about?
Lunaterra.
Sorry?
Lunaterra, I think.
Yeah, Lunaterra, right. That's right. The Lunaterra, which actually, completely, while we're talking about it, it's completely reversed to the downside, and is actually down on the day, but may still be a very interesting trade on a longer term basis. Let me know. Let's take a look at the charts. What do you think, Lewis? What's looking interesting to you? Solana looks pretty good actually too.
Yeah, I think, with Solana too, I think news just came out that Solana is part of Grayscale now. I think Grayscale opened, I don't know, I think a trust with Solana. So that's something new with Solana.
So you have an
just came
institutional
out. So,
buyer.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I think Solana is definitely a great a pick for the next few days for the beginning of December.
It does.
Which
It
I do
does
think
look
is going to
really.
be.
It does look really good on the. This is a 1 hour chart.
Yeah, this is the 1 hour.
Yeah, it does look really good on the 1 hour chart. Do you ever go deeper? Like, do you go 4 hours dailies? Do you go on a longer time frames when you look at charts?
Yeah,
Or
I
do
like
you
to
go?
go in 4 hour or 15 also,
Okay.
and even the 5 minute.
Right. Just to time it out.
Let's just see.
What is this? This is the 5 minute. Yeah, it's curling up.
Yeah, this is
I
the
mean,
5 minute. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it looks positive. It actually looks like it's breaking out through all the moving averages. So
Yeah.
should we put you down? Should we put you down for Solana as a hold for the next 2 to 5 days as a possible swing trade, or is there anything else you want to look at?
Yeah, I think I was gonna pick Solana
Okay,
for
awesome,
the swing trade.
awesome. So let's do that. What about you, Nick? What are you looking for on a longer term basis?
I'm very bullish on DOT long term, and it has come back down and tested this low. Like personally, today I bought a lot of DOT down
Hmm.
here at the low 30s.
Right,
So this isn't as good as my entry, my personal trading entry.
right.
But I still think it's overall a good one. I mean, it's broken the trend line. I'm not a big fan of trend lines, but they do tend to work in crypto. So I do use them on occasion.
What,
Uh,
speaking of that,
they
do you pay attention more to horizontal trend lines than diagonal ones?
Yeah, horizontal support resistance or trend
Yeah.
lines. Yeah,
Much
I
more
definitely
important.
pay more
You could
attention
see
to
how
that.
it holds here as a double bottom here as a very, very clear double bottom.
Uh, sorry, where?
I was saying you could see on a horizontal basis how dot
Oh,
really held support.
oh,
Um,
right. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Yeah. It held the support really well. And now, yeah. So that's why I jumped in down here because I was
right,
pretty sure it was gonna hold out support. And that's how I tend to play these cryptos. I'll have a long term position. So let's say I'd get in to
right,
dot, somewhere down here, or well, dot was a fair bit earlier, was back there, but let's just pretend, for the sake of example, I got in somewhere here. So I'd be like taking profit out at key points, usually resistance as it pulls up, and then
right,
when it has a big dip back down, I'd reinvest some of the profit I took out. let it go
Right.
back up, take some profit on the way. I'm just taking small amounts, and then when it dips back down, I start buying again. Obviously, you
Right.
can never pick the bottom. It's not like I'm buying the bottom of all these dips. That's impossible to just it's impossible to always pick a bottom. So I'd be scaling back into the dip. So I'd buy at key points, support areas, usually on the dip, and that's just what I'm doing here. That's
But
what I did. I bought back into the dip
right.
as it scaled
Mm.
down, like at key points, and the final point was here, at which point it has started to turn around.
What I like about Nick's approach also is that he does not look for confirmation. Like he looks at the key points on the chart and just like this bottom and dot. I know you bought you weren't looking for this turn. You bought it and then it turned. And one of the
Yeah,
interesting reasons for why you do this is because you don't, by the time you get confirmation you're already in profit, and the guy who's waiting for confirmation is kind of entering late. You're already scaling
yeah,
out part of your risk. So you kind of feel, because crypto is so responsive to basic, you know key technical levels, it's more advantageous at this point in the market to just take the risk, add the points, so that you then have a chance to really get a quick pop once it does pop,
yeah.
right?
And like it's not always going to work. So I scaled in like personally, not today obviously, but I scaled in
Hmm.
over here, and it kept dipping back down. But that's fine because the way I look at it is, I got into dot, back here. So, and I've been selling off part of
Right.
my bag all the way up, and then buying back as it dips. So
Right.
scaling in, scaling out, scaling in, scaling out. That's the approach.
Right.
So yeah, if it doesn't hold a key level that I have marked, I don't have it marked on the chart right now, but I had a key level
Right.
uh, here that coincided with that bounce there. It didn't hold on to that key level where I scaled in. No problems. I'm going to scale in again down here, and now it's turned around. And generally speaking, the bigger the dip, the more I start to buy back because I have a long term bullish outlook on DOT.
Right.
I do think it's going to turn around at some point, fundamentally. So I
Right.
am willing to add in more. So like here, let's just say for a round number, I'd add 1,000. Here I might add 1,000, or maybe I'll put 1,200. And then if it came down to this level here, maybe
Hmm.
down here I'd put 1,500, just as an example number.
Right.
Uh, and I just scale into the dip because that's really
Right.
what crypto comes down to. It's just you have to hold
So,
on long term and scale in
so
and scale out.
what's fascinating about that kind of approach is that basically, ironically enough, so you're making your sort of your investment or your trading ideas on a fundamental basis, and then you're using
Mm.
technicals to kind of time your entries. You have a natural long bias to a lot of these things until they start running, and if they start running, then you obviously have
Oh
a
yeah,
scale out bias. You're just taking profits, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bear. You're just simply taking profits. But what I love is that you're kind of using technicals actually in inverse. Like if you were a momentum technical trader, you'd be like, oh, they're breaking support. You got to be selling it. You're actually backing up the truck and buying it because to you that's the perfect exhaustion level at which you want to
yeah.
enter the position.
Essentially, you should be like you should be buying the fear in crypto.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
the
That's the key point. What do you think about that, Lewis? Buying the fear in crypto. Do you agree, or do you kind of have a different approach to how you trade?
Yeah, yeah. There's the fear index. I think that's one of the indicators. And usually when there's a lot of fear, that's the next day or so, it's a huge turnaround. Like what happened recently with Bitcoin when it was around 53,000 mark, and then in just one instant, it just goes super well, not parabolic, but it goes huge high from the
Right.
previous day when everybody was scared that was going to go to 50K or
Right.
lower. So
So what
I
what
definitely
what, what is
agree.
this fear index? Is there a fear index in crypto? Is
yeah,
because I know there's a fear. Yeah.
yeah. There's a fear index in crypto. It's quite popular. It's
Oh,
the
that's something I
Bitcoin
didn't know.
fear index. I think it was at 27 the other day.
It's kind of like a crypto version of VIX. Um,
Yeah, I'm trying to bring it up for you. On my
I'm gonna have to
screen.
Google it now because that's really interesting. I had no idea there was a fear index, and I wonder, is there any particular levels, Lewis, that you look at that give you
Here you go.
confidence that you want to get long or short? I mean, so it's basis 100, right? 0 to 100, and I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
when when it gets into, it's kind of like almost RSI, like when it gets into 30s or lower, that's when the chance for a pop looks good. Is that how
Yeah,
you
yeah.
interpret?
27.30. I don't really use it that much, but yeah, 27.30 is usually what people. Sorry, was that question for Lewis?
Yeah,
Uh,
sorry,
sorry
Lewis.
about
Yeah,
that.
no, it's okay. It's okay. Lewis, is that the levels you kind of look at?
Yeah, like I don't use it, religiously, but a lot of people in crypto do talk about it, and they bring it
Right,
up here and there just to
right,
see what everybody is looking at the market, if people are long or short.
right.
So I do think it's, important to take a look at it here and there to see what
Interesting.
people
Well,
are
there you go.
thinking about.
There you go. You taught your boomer host something new about crypto, which I'm definitely going to be looking at now. Let's take a look at our positions before we close out the hour. So, how's everybody looking? Um, Here's the scoreboard. So everybody's starting to look green. Nice. I mean, it's pretty much green across the board in a lot of stuff here. So clearly, Nick is just on the strength of ETH is having a banner day because we know ETH has just been a perfect classic Bitcoin trade here. Um, it broke the round number, held above the round number, just trading beautifully, very much like a classic round number trade that we used to do in Forex, and now is very much doable in ETH. So Nick is obviously ahead on on the strength of ETH. Solana is pretty much break even. Lewis's Litecoin is working. Lewis's Bitcoin is working a little bit too, which is nice. And then we're going to see how the longer term trades work, because obviously these trades are going to be held through the close into. Nobody's taking any profits right now, right? Everybody wants to. You
I
guys,
closed
nobody.
out ETH.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed after this, so I closed out ETH.
Okay, okay. So
Closed out trade. I'm not keeping it
Nick,
open.
Yeah.
wants a little piece, so he banked his
Yeah.
profit. And I guess Lewis, what about you? You gonna hang tight? You gonna hang all those positions? You gonna hang Bitcoin or? Um,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hang tight. I think I'm pretty
yeah,
confident
very
in,
good.
starting
Yeah.
December off strong.
All right. That's actually, sort of last question before I kind of get a little bit to your background, guys. We're going into the end of the year, and we talked about the fact that crypto can actually really verticalize into the last month of the year, right? This historically, December could be a very, very positive month for crypto. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about that, Lewis?
Or a sideways month, and then January it takes off. But
Hmm.
uh, yeah, but yeah, it can be a really good month.
Right.
Yeah, honestly, there's a lot of theories as to why. I tend to be one of those guys that I just try not to put too much stock in the theories because I feel like it kind of starts messing with my head when
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
when I start saying, "Oh, well, it's going to do this because of whatever," and then
yeah,
it,
Right.
it messes with my trading. So I
Right.
try to just take the market as it comes, whatever happens.
Yeah.
I've got a plan to react. Well, no, it's not really reactive trading, but just I'm more of a very short term outlook, and I trade based on that, and try not to let market theories influence my trading. That's just me
Understood. How about
personally.
you,
I mean,
Lewis? Um, yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Lewis?
yeah. I
Do you
definitely
do you have
agree.
a view?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Sometimes some people just overthink certain things, and it can really get into your head on what's going on. But
Hmm.
looking back in November, a lot of people expected November to be super bullish. I think they called it Movember, right?
Right.
So
Right.
when
I remember
everybody's
that.
super
Right.
long, yeah, when
Right.
everybody's super long on Bitcoin, everybody was super long. It's not surprising that the market's going to pull back, which it did. And now we're starting December with a little bit more strength
Right.
around certain prices on Bitcoin. So I do think that it will be a slow grind up this month and eventually
Yeah, yeah.
break all-time
I
highs.
remember my Twitter feed was insufferable with all the crypto bull in the beginning of the year because it was 65 and they all thought it was going. They were all going. It was all going to 100,000. They were all convinced it was going to 100,000 by the end of the year. Well,
Yeah.
as we all know, markets always teach us a lesson. So let's talk a little bit about what you do, Louis. Tell us a little bit about who you're playing for. A little bit of what you do. Let the audience know about your um, just generally, your business and your charity.
Yeah, so I'm a crypto YouTuber, and
Mhm.
my ultimate goal and passion really is just uh, being that that gateway for the ordinary person into the crypto world. Really, just I have a series of videos on just simple how to use exchanges and invest into crypto, which can hopefully get into something bigger, be something bigger in people's lives. And I do believe we're in part of this mass adoption, and I think it's slowly gonna rise up, and I think more people be come into crypto.
Mm, absolutely, absolutely. It's interesting. Great. And what's your charity? It's
Yeah, so
longevity. Yeah.
yeah, lung. I think it's longevity. They're a lung cancer charity, and I wanted to donate with them. My wife, my wife's father passed away this year with lung complications, and
Mm,
you know, I don't want anybody's family to go through something like that. So I want to
mm,
give to this research and helping families with researching lung cancer.
absolutely. Very, very, very noble cause. What about you, Nick?
Thank you.
What I mean, we know Nick, of course, from many prior appearances. But tell us a little bit about what you do, and also, what charity you're trading for. Um, and I know you're keen. Both of you guys are keen to win, and both of them are very valuable. But tell us a little bit about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Smile Train, I'll start with the charity. Smile Train is a charity that fix cleft palates for kids in poor countries. So, for example,
Mm,
in India, a cleft palate could really set you back in life, and they fix cleft palates, which in countries like ours, like the UK and America, it's just rectified at birth. Over
right.
there, it's not a lot of the times, and our kids have to grow up with it, and then they're shunned, and it's pretty horrible, really, what they have to go through. So, Small Train essentially fixes that, and I've been giving to Smile Train for like a good 15 years now, I think,
Wow.
or
Wow.
maybe
It's
10
wonderful.
Wow.
years. It's been a long
That's
time,
wonderful.
anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, right, and yeah, about me. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I've said it all before. I'm just a trader who switched over to crypto and just found I
I'm
just
just a
fell in
boy
love with the
long
market.
cryptos.
Yeah, I
Do
just
you
I
s- do
fell
you
in love with the market. What can you say?
do
It's
you
crazy.
focus mostly on crypto, or do you go back sometimes to forex?
I sometimes go back to forex, but yeah, it's
No.
mostly crypto. Like
It's like an old
vast.
girlfriend. He's left FX behind. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's too slow for him.
it's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
so much easier to make money in crypto, and there's so much more
Yeah.
pairs. Well, they're not pairs really, but there's so many more cryptos than there are forex pairs. So when
Yeah.
something's having a slow day, you can always go to something else, and
That's actually a
yeah,
really interesting point. You're absolutely right. The selection of choice and the selection of volatility is really unmatched in crypto.
yeah,
It's amazing. And looks like, well, as we end up the session today, the Bitcoin is working, the ETH is working. Let's take a look one final time at the keyboard. Litecoin is working. Solana is basically flat. You know um, the two longer term trades, Dot and Mana, are going to be longer term trades. What's cool about this is, so as we close the first crypto battle of the day, Nick, the weathered veteran that he is well ahead based upon his big, strong Ethereum bet. Really, I would say classically executed. For those of you who are watching, this is a classic, beautiful technical trade that he did for us at the beginning of the session, and it was just you know executed to the T of how you would trade a round number move, especially in such a high liquidity pair. And Lewis is very much holding his own, and we've got 5 days until the final results are going to be posted. So I ask everybody to watch. We're going to email you guys the final results, and most importantly, everybody who's watching us across the world, do not forget to like and follow the Trading Battle on YouTube so that you can subscribe to these challenges. This is our first crypto challenge, but definitely not going to be our last. We're going to be trading crypto over and over again, because not only is this a new asset class, it may very well be the asset class for the next century. So we're certainly going to have many more traders. And I want to thank both Nick and Lewis for being great sports,
Thank you.
great charities, great traders, and just showing us around what is still a pretty new market for all of us, including yours truly. So I want to thank everybody, the Sports Schlossberg.
Thanks.
We're Crypto Battle number 1. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Lewis. And we're
See you
over and
guys
out.
later.
We'll see
Bye,
you guys
guys.
in March.